Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and often debated topics in both historical and spiritual circles: the famous prophecy of the popes, attributed to Saint Malachi. For centuries, this prophecy has captivated both scholars and believers alike, and its connection to the papacy continues to spark discussion even today. So what's the real story behind it? And does it point to the present Pope, Pope Francis? As the fulfillment of these ancient predictions, Saint Malachi, born in 1094 in Ireland, was a deeply devout Archbishop of Armagh, who is said to have had a remarkable vision while in Rome in 1139. During this vision, he purportedly saw the future popes from his own time all the way to the end of time. According to the prophecy, these future popes were described through a series of 112 cryptic Latin phrases. Each phrase, written in an obscure manner, was believed to reference the character or life of a future pope, often in ways that seemed to. This discovery coincided with the election of Pope Urban VII, and many began to notice intriguing parallels between the descriptions in the prophecy and the actual lives of popes past and present. One of the most compelling moments in the history of the prophecy came with Pope John Paul I. His brief papacy, lasting only 32 days, seemed to fulfill the cryptic description De medietate lunae, from the half of the moon, referring to his short reign, which roughly aligned with a lunar cycle. Likewise, Pope John Paul II's papacy seemed to echo the description De labore solis, from the labour of the sun, which is believed to reference his birth during a solar eclipse and the worldwide reach of his papacy, spreading the Church's message like the sun's rays. As we move to the present, all eyes are on Pope Francis, the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Argentina, his papacy has sparked significant attention due to the prophecy's mention of the final Pope, P. This has led many to wonder if Pope Francis is indeed the one who will fulfill the role of the final Pope as described in the prophecy. Despite these intriguing parallels, the interpretation of the prophecy remains hotly debated. Many within the Vatican and broader Catholic community view it more as a historical curiosity than a prophetic forecast of future events. Pope Francis's papacy has been marked by a range of challenges and controversies, including his response to the Church's sexual abuse crisis and his call for reform. These difficulties, while significant, are not unique in the history of the papacy, and they only add to the complexity of interpreting whether the prophecy points directly to his reign. So, where does this leave us? While the prophecy of the popes continues to fascinate, it's crucial to remember that the Church's path is not solely defined by these mysterious predictions. Ultimately, the prophecy may serve as a reminder of the need for spiritual vigilance and preparedness as we navigate uncertain times. Whether or not Pope Francis fulfills the role of Petrus Romanus, the call remains clear: to live faithfully, to hold firm in our beliefs, and to trust in God's plan for the Church and the world. Only time will tell how these ancient prophecies truly unfold. But as always, our faith will guide us through the mysteries of the future. The deep divisions within the Church, a call for accountability and healing. The Church finds itself at a crossroads, with scandals of clergy abuse casting a long shadow over its sacred reputation. The victims of these horrendous acts, suffering deeply from the betrayal of those entrusted with their spiritual care, have experienced great pain. The credibility of the Church has been severely damaged, and Pope Francis has come under increasing scrutiny for his perceived failure to hold perpetrators accountable and implement. The document, which offers guidance on marriage, family life, and pastoral care, has caused profound divisions among the faithful. A particularly contentious issue is the question of whether divorced and remarried Catholics should be allowed to receive the Eucharist. Pope Francis emphasizes the importance of mercy and pastoral discretion, advocating for a more compassionate approach to those in challenging circumstances. However, traditionalists argue that this approach could lead to doctrinal confusion and undermine the Church's core teachings on marriage. In response to these developments, a group of 45 priests and scholars published a letter in 2017 accusing Pope Francis of promoting views that diverge from the Church's foundational doctrines. Their letter highlighted the growing fractures within the Church and the significant challenges Pope Francis faces in preserving unity and maintaining doctrinal integrity amidst such intense division. The Pope's efforts to address social justice. The Church must confront these challenges with humility and courage, always upholding the truth of Christ's teachings and responding with compassion to those who suffer. This is a time for deep reflection and renewal, a moment to reevaluate how we, as the body of Christ, can stand together in the face of adversity and work toward the restoration of trust and integrity within the Church. May we remain steadfast in our faith and committed to the values of justice, love, and mercy that are at the heart of the gospel. The ongoing struggle to address the issue of sexual assault within the Church, coupled with the need to rebuild trust, is brought into sharp focus by the Vigano affair. This issue has only grown more complex in the modern age, especially with the rise of social media and online platforms. These digital spaces have become battlegrounds where believers, skeptics, and even conspiracy theorists debate and scrutinize every aspect of Pope Francis's papacy. Within this environment, the Church must confront these challenges with humility and courage, always upholding the truth of Christ's teachings and responding with compassion to those who suffer. This is a time for deep reflection and renewal, a moment to reevaluate how we, as the body of Christ, can stand together in the face of adversity and work toward the restoration of trust and integrity within the Church. May we remain steadfast in our faith and committed to the values of justice, love, and mercy that are at the heart of the gospel. The ongoing struggle to address the issue of sexual assault within the Church, coupled with the need to rebuild trust, is brought into sharp focus by the Vigano affair. This issue has only grown more complex in the modern age, especially with the rise of social media and online platforms. These digital spaces have become battlegrounds where believers, skeptics, and this online discourse reflects the broader challenges the Church faces in a rapidly changing world. It is no longer just about theological discussions, but about navigating the very future of the Church itself. Among the many points of contention, Pope Francis's relationship with prophecies, especially the famous one involving Peter the Roman, has captured the attention of many. Some believers see signs connecting Pope Francis to this ancient prophecy, while others remain skeptical, viewing the connection as tenuous at best. The interpretation of such prophecies is fraught with difficulty, as it is often shaped by personal beliefs and the context of contemporary events. Despite the intrigue surrounding these prophecies, the focus should remain on addressing the Church's immediate and pressing challenges. The scandals, particularly surrounding sexual abuse, demand urgent attention. The Church must navigate the theological debates, address doctrinal concerns, and ensure its role remains. Belief in God's providence is a fundamental truth that reminds us He will never abandon those who place their trust in Him. In these uncertain times, establishing spiritual communities is not just about finding a place to stay. It's about creating a network of believers who can support and protect each other. Father Michel urges Christians to connect with like-minded souls who share their faith. These communities will become vital sources of comfort, protection, and strength during the trials ahead. The power of prayer and unity cannot be underestimated. Where two or more gather in His name, God is present. These words from Father Michel serve as a reminder that the strength of a community lies in shared faith, prayer, and mutual support. In times of adversity, knowing you are part of a larger spiritual family is a source of great comfort. Through these connections, the faithful can combat feelings of isolation and despair, finding strength to endure the toughest challenges. Prophecy, history, and the unwavering desire to serve others will continue to guide the Church. Whether or not the predictions of the past come to fruition, the future of the Church depends on its ability to learn, adapt, and remain steadfast in its mission to love and serve humanity.